All right, live once more. Welcome to some more Shy Beer Guy TV, another live beer review. Today we are reviewing, and this is my 11th review, I believe, which is not that much, but they're racking up quick. I am reviewing Hop Butchers. We got another Hop Butcher. The world's Columbian coffee exposition. So this is a stout, a UK Phoenix and HBC 472 hopped imperial stout brewed with coffee. Now, I have no fucking idea what those hop varieties are, but it sounds interesting, and we're just gonna jump right into it. So, Hop Butcher always puts out some good stuff. I always make it a point to pick up whatever it is they put out. I did pick up a handful the last time around when they just did a few releases. They did Galaxy Bowl, their Old Naughty, as well as this one, all released at the same time. But this one is one of the ones that I'm excited for. So, initial pour, and I'll prop that, where are we going to put this? Right there, so we know what we're drinking. Initial pour, it's a stout, so no clarity whatsoever, nice and dark, real thick. The head retention is very minimal, less than a pinky. I want to say just a couple centimeters there on that one. Also, the head looks to be a very a light brown color, another caramel color, much like the Milk-Eyed Mender that I did. I'm really excited to try this. I love coffee beers. I think they're just fantastic. They're really tasty. You know, if you're a coffee fan, then you'll enjoy these. But let's jump into the smell. Oh, I'm sorry, lacing. There is a fair bit of lacing on the inside of the glass there. So for those who aren't familiar with the term lacing in beer, what that is the sediment of the head that sticks on the glass. So what's happening here when I'm swirling it around the head of the glass, you see a lot of sediment of foam that sticks on there. So let's jump into the smell. Wow. Okay, very coffee-like right off the bat. I can definitely tell. But it's like a good kind of coffee. It definitely smells Colombian, like Colombian coffee. Not that I can tell the difference between regular coffee and Colombian coffee, but Colombian coffee I do really like, and I think that it has a very pungent smell, just very nice, warm, roasty smell, and the same for this beer. Very nice. In terms of the overall coffee smell, it is very prominent. Roasty, kind of chocolatey, and a little bit of vanilla on the back end too. So I could be wrong with that. Let's take a look at the tasting notes on the back of the can. Hop Butcher does this, and they pair it up with Hero Coffee Bar, which I'm assuming they're in Chicago as well. But the tasting notes are coffee, dark fruits, and chocolate. So there is some chocolate in there. Let's jump into the taste, because I'm going to do this real quick. And for those that are wondering, this is a 10% beer. Those are the specs. Like I said, UK Phoenix and HBC 472 hopped Imperial Stout, and alcohol by volume. So, ooh. That is really nice and really dangerous too, and I'll tell you why. So right off the bat, real forefronting coffee flavor, and it's also kind of residual as well. So the front end is definitely a lot of coffee. You catch some prominent hops in there, more so than I would detect in any other stout. It's actually, so you get that initial hop taste followed by the chocolate and a little bit of dark fruit following, kind of trailing that. Like berry, like almost in terms of dark fruit, I would guess berry-like, but like dark berries, so like a blackberry almost taste. But it's really, really, really subtle. So for those who are like, oh, blackberry and coffee and chocolate, oh, that doesn't sound good. It's actually pretty well balanced. Yeah, and then it's followed by that residual coffee flavor, and it's really, really nice coffee flavor. It's not overpowering. It doesn't taste too much like espresso. It's just really, really nice, really well balanced. Um, Overall, probably one of my I would I would say this is probably one of my favorites that I've had in a long, long, long time. Because I am picky about my dark beers, and with coffee, a lot of coffee beers, I like them. Some of them are a little bit overpowering. It's definitely prominent in this, but it's like residual prominence, so it sits on your tongue really nicely, and it doesn't overpower the entirety of the beer. So again, overall, the initial taste is that hop flavor. You kind of get that hop bitterness. It's a little more bitter hops in this stout as opposed to other stouts that I've had. Followed by that chocolate mixed with a little bit of subtle dark fruits. So like I said, a little bit of blackberry is what I'm catching from that. And then you get that residual coffee taste, and it sits really nicely on the tongue. And the thing is overall, it's extremely well balanced. So after the beer goes down, they all kind of, you catch, like I said, you catch a lot of that residual coffee flavor, but some of the other flavors I'm now tasting are coming back as well. So I'm catching that chocolate with the dark fruits, and obviously the hops dissipate, but the chocolate and the dark fruit are remnant as well. The body, it's really actually light and easy drinking for a stout. So a lot of these stouts can be real thick, extremely thick, and too kind of syrupy, and they'll fill you up. Like Guinness, I'm not a Guinness fan, and I always draw a comparison to Guinness because I have some followers on here that don't drink beer at all. But here's the thing: is I'm trying to get people to try some different beers, and hopefully by me explaining what these beers are like, you can go out and kind of experiment a little bit. But this is a nice dark beer, really well balanced. Extremely, extremely, extremely tasty. Like I said, that balance is it's on point, and it could be because this is such a fresh beer, but it's really, really nice. The overall mouthfeel, yeah, it's really easy. Like I said, light in body. The mouthfeel is kind of almost what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost holy. I don't know if that would be the word. It's kind of a staggered mouthfeel where it's full, followed by really thin, and then full again in the flavor, and then thinned out as it goes down. So I'm not sure that I'm explaining that right, but that's just what I'm taking from it. But overall, this is actually a really, really good coffee stout. And for those that really like coffee, if you are open to trying different types of beers, if you really, really like coffee, and you're open to the concept of coffee and beer, then you should definitely try this one if they're still around. Hot Butcher usually sells out. All of their stuff usually sells out, so it's hard to find exactly what you're looking for in terms of Hot Butcher stuff, because like I said, it usually sells out right away. And this is one that I would guess sells out. I didn't have it last year. I know that there was a previous version of this beer, and I didn't have it last year. This is the first time I'm trying this, but I am really excited because this is a really fantastic stout, and I could drink this all the time. And like I said, it's super dangerous because it's 10%. It's a 10% beer. I mean, I love these stouts that'll just knock you back a little bit, because it's really hard to find stouts of that caliber that are, you know, not too syrupy and thick and won't fill you up too much. So, yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and look what we got here on Beer Advocate so I can give my rating comparatively. And I do my ratings, it's a decimal system. As I mentioned in my last review, I get a lot of shit for this, but I do a decimal system on a scale of 1 to 10. Sorry, excuse me a second. Wow, it's not even on Beer Advocate. That is crazy. That's a first. Maybe I'm just... Alright. Sorry guys, I'll have to pause for you. Wow, that is a first. I have never seen that before. It's actually not on Beer Advocate. So wow. I have nothing to reference. I would guess that it would be up there, maybe like a 4 out of 5 or like a 4.3 something out of 5. Again, I do my decimal system. It's not really, it's graded based on the overall taste of the beer, obviously, whether or not I like it. That's the main factor in me scoring these beers. But also the body, how easy it is to drink, the alcohol percentage, as well as the overall mouthfeel and the smell. So everything collectively, I would probably give this beer a 9.5 or a 9.6 out of 10. I'm actually really surprised at how good it is. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. But again, for those catching the back end of this, this is Hop Butcher's The World's Columbian Coffee Exposition, UK Phoenix and HBC 472 hopped Imperial Stout brewed with coffee. Now that sounds boring as shit, so I'm just gonna say that it's a really fucking good beer and you guys should definitely try it. But until next time guys, this is Shy Beer Guy. Stay tuned for more reviews.